Hi, everyone. Hi. We are live for the second edition of our Tuesday Live, talking everything indie author, anything about the writing, editing, publishing process. So we're going to kind of walk through certain things over time. And today, last week we talked about mindset. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how that works, but we're going to talk mostly about how to figure out your writing style so that that doesn't hold you back from actually getting started. And now if you're wondering why I'm switching back and forth, I am live right now on Instagram. So hello, I am live on YouTube and Facebook as well. So hoping to make this a weekly occurrence so we can kind of walk through all the different things that indie authors go through and all of the struggles that we have so that we can work through them and not let those hold us back. So today, let's get to the training. How to figure out your writing style and make it work for you. Okay, so the first step, we have a story idea. We have a book idea. It is, we're really excited about it. We've got a lot of things going on, a lot of ideas, and a lot of just all this excitement and energy around this book idea. And it's a really exciting place to be in the writing process. It's really fun, but sometimes we're not even sure how to start. We're not sure where to go. We're not sure what to do. We just want to start writing. Well, that's okay. And that's a totally valid viewpoint. Hi, thanks for showing up. So today we're talking about the writing process and how do you figure out what you want to do? So first, we're going to figure out your writing style. Your writing style may be, there's a common thing called plotters or pantsers. And basically the difference between those two are plotters are writers who plot out their book before they write it. Pantsers are people that write the book by the seat of their pants, so they don't have a plot to work with. But I've heard it said that pantsers actually plot their book as they're writing the first draft. So, and I found that to be true to me because I am a pantser. I sit down with a blank page and I don't have a whole lot of knowledge where I'm going. And then I get it out on the page and I see the plot unfold as it goes, and I discover the plot along with the characters and all of that as I'm writing it. So by the time the book is done, I see what the plot is, and then I go back and do the edits I need to do to get them to fit into place. So that's the difference between plotters and pantsers. Plotters to me seem it's like amazing, and I sometimes wish I could do it because it would be very simple to okay, not simple, but I wish that I was able to be a plotter where I could just plan out my book, write it, and I know it doesn't always stick that way, and I know it doesn't always like, hey, okay, this is just going to work perfectly. I know things change, but sometimes I wish I could be a plotter. I am not. That is okay. Whatever your writing style is okay. You just have to figure that out, because if you get stuck on like the mental part of it and you're like, okay, do I need to plot first? Do I need to do an outline? Do I need to do this XYZ before I actually start? It can hold us back from not starting. And that's kind of where the mindset part is. If you overthink everything, which I tend to do, if you overthink everything and talk yourself out of actually writing, you're not going to get your book done. So that's the main goal here, is to just talk through those things that might be holding us back from actually getting us started with writing our book. So some of the things I've seen some writers do. Now, this can apply to pantsers or plotters. So some of them, obviously, if you are a plotter and you want to write an outline, that's going to be your first step. I can't obviously speak personally about plotting, but I've heard people where they map out their scenes. They do specific chapters, and maybe this chapter is the scene, or they just do the scenes and they'll put in the chapters afterwards. I'm not sure exactly how it works, obviously. Not a plotter, but basically they're doing an outline of what's going to happen in the book. They know the basic scenes and they know the characters and all of this, and then they plot that out into an outline, and then they start writing the book. So in that process, you're doing a lot of research, you are developing the characters, and you are just really getting to know the story itself. Now, pantsers, on the flip side, and granted, there's probably no one that's 100% plotter or 100% pantser. There is an overlap, and there is a spectrum. So you're somewhere on the spectrum. For me, I'm pretty strong in the pantser side, but I do have some plotting aspects. Not a lot, but a few. And part of what that I can kind of consider a plotting thing is I do some research. So sometimes if I am, and a lot of times I just get impatient, so I start writing, and then the plot and then the research part comes afterwards. So that's fine too. But that's also sometimes why I'm a pantser, because I get impatient. But I will create a playlist for a book sometimes, just to get myself in that mindset. Sometimes I'll create specific songs that go to different parts of the book, or I picture a scene in my head and said that song would be perfect. If this was a movie, that song would be playing, or just different things like that. Sometimes I'll create a playlist that's just for writing. So these are the albums that I listen to while I'm writing. And for me, that's usually 8 to 10 to 15 different albums that I have on a playlist that I'll just play over and over on repeat. That's just how because I write to music. Some people do, some people don't. So maybe a playlist helps, and having that playlist can help you even when you get stuck on a scene, or you're maybe doing the dishes or something. You can listen to that playlist to get you excited for your book again, so that you'll want to go back and actually continue writing. So I already mentioned research, but some authors like to do that at the beginning. I wrote a book, or I started writing a book where the characters were, they worked in the movie industry, and I knew nothing about it, like none of the details or anything. So I was doing a lot of research on that, so I could get to know the characters and what their day-to-day would look like. And also to make it realistic, I researched locations a lot. And again, with me, it's sometimes I start writing and then I say, oh, I want to go to this location, or I start researching different locations. And just to see what would fit, or if this actually makes sense for this location, or if I need to change it. So I do a lot of research. But you can do it just runs the spectrum, whatever makes sense for you before you're ready to write, before your head isn't in the space where it needs to be before you start writing. Do those things that you need to do to get into your mindset to actually get the writing done. Because if you don't, you're going to fight with the words on the page. You are going to struggle getting the words out. And nobody wants to do that, because then it's not fun anymore. And if you're not having fun while you're writing, then why are you doing it? Let's just say it that way. So you might develop character names. Some people want to, or character profiles. I did this for my first book, didn't really work. Well, it did work a little bit. I still sometimes refer back to those, like, what was her sister's name, that I haven't actually put into the book yet. So sometimes I'll do that. And so it is just a way to kind of, for me, it was to get to know the characters. I put their full name, didn't ever intend to put it in the book, like their middle name, their full family and their names, like their favorite foods, and there's different genres you can work this stuff in, and sometimes you don't, but it helped me to get a broader view of my characters so that I knew them more intimately and could write them better. And then just figure out your process from there. Figure out what you want to do, what feels natural to you. If you are struggling to write, this is kind of the overarching thing. If you are struggling to get your book done, if you are struggling to actually write your book, and even just to get started, sometimes it's these types of things that seem very simple in concept, but they can hold you back from actually writing. So I encourage you to figure out your writing style. And the best way to figure out your writing style is just to write. If you are stuck and you feel like, okay, I need to do an outline, I've got to do all this stuff, and all of that stuff starts to bog you down and just feels draining, maybe you're a pantser. Maybe you need to start writing. Or if you have a blank page in front of you and you're like, I'm going to write this book, it's going to be great, and I have this great idea, and you open the page and you stare at it and do not have a clue what to write, maybe you're supposed to start with an outline. It's just a matter of developing your process. And this process can change over time. I've heard of people that started out as pantsers and they became plotters. It can change, and that's okay. As you evolve, your process will evolve as well. Just develop kind of the habits that get you in that mindset to actually write your book and enjoy the writing process so that you'll be able to finally finish it, right? Okay, so to help with the writing process, once you get started, I have a word count tracker, and I have the link in my bio, I believe. I'll double check. And I put the link below in the YouTube video description as well as the Facebook description. It is a free word count tracker that you can use to track your word count as you go. It's got some inspiration. It gives you some tips. And it's just something I developed just so you have something to keep you on track and keep you accountable as you're writing. So I hope you'll download that and it helps you as you're writing. And if you have any questions, always feel free to let me know. Well, I will see you guys next Tuesday for our third episode of the Indie Author Life and getting writing process. I think we're talking about like actually getting the writing done and some technical stuff next week. So that should be really fun. But until then, I will talk to y'all later.